Okay, so I'm up in an attic right now. I have a unit that is leaking water down through the ceiling onto the second floor. While I was up here, I see this unit. This unit, which has a full pan, broken condensate line, other pieces floating right here. So I'm gonna fix that. Blow it out, make sure it drains, see why we clogged. Maybe it was a matter of it freezing, or maybe it's just a matter of it clogging and backing up. But this unit over here, we also have an issue where my guess is the drain's just gonna need to be blown out because they look pretty filthy. He wants me to check out all his systems while I'm here, so I'll do that. I'll make sure to check filters and make sure everything's cooling. Okay, I got this first drain blown out to get some water to flow through. I have to end up blowing it out a few times because of all of this crud, but my shop vac is currently broken, so I'm just gonna have to let it all drain through and just keep blowing it if it gets clogged. It is flowing right now, and we'll see what happens. I'll blow out the other ones as well. I gotta get PVC cut and I'll put in unions for easier access in the future. And then I'll be treating all the drain pans with condensate pan treatment to prevent this from happening again. Okay. So Peter got me a bucket and everything I need. Right now, I'm gonna start getting rid of this sludge, which is just nasty. See how much we get in total, how much this bucket gets filled. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, so I was gonna reconnect this, but let's see, it's too thick and half the threads were broken off. So I'm just gonna plug it. That way nothing drips out from there. And I'll get that in nice and tight with channel lock, but this line I'm gonna have to cut. Oh, or not. So I'll just blow this out, and they do look like they're on the exact same level, so it should be fine with just blowing them out and plugging that one. I don't think I'll have any issues with the drain. These CO2 cartridges don't actually fit my gun, so I have to do it really quickly because it leaks out a little bit. That's clear. And just to make sure. Here, pulling in water. Yeah, you know what? There's a crack in that too. You know what we're pulling from? This jacket. Yeah, because it's not put on properly. Do you want to grab me the drill with the 5/16 so I can take this off and put it on the right way? And as soon as I turned it off, we started dripping water from the cabinet. I'm curious if maybe our pan itself was cracked whenever this happened, where this thread cracked and this cracked. Looks like it took an impact at some point, but try to get this figured out. Okay, so looking at this unit, our pan is completely cracked. So I'm not even gonna bother with any of this because it's not even making it up there to drain. I got that blown out so it could drain through that, but I'm gonna have to call the customer and see what he wants to do. He's gonna need a new pan, but it's an R22 system, so we'll see what he wants to do. And I'll call Mike and ask for his opinion. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna get him up and running and let him use this emergency drain pan now as his primary drain pan. Just so he has cooling for the time being, while he decides what is gonna happen or what's gonna be done. I'll reconnect this just for the sake of reconnecting it, but I'm not gonna do too much fixing to it since we have multiple cracks. I don't know if you could see them. There's the one in the center of the screen, and then the other one which is now in the center of the screen, and over by this drain access, the outlet for it. So just gonna make sure they're all cooling, and we'll check out that other unit behind us. Okay, so I did the same to this unit. It is draining. It doesn't look like it is because there's a piece of debris stuff right there. I cleaned out as much of the thick sludge as I could, and I threw some drain pan treatment tablets in to try to help break down all this gunk, and we'll make sure that this continues to drain well. And I blew out the primary drain was clogged, and this also appears to be cracked, so I'm going to open up the cover and take a look and see what we're dealing with that condensate pan. They are the same brand units, so I feel like if that one's cracked, then there's a high chance that this one is probably cracked too. So I'll open this one up. Why did this one turn off? What did you set the thermostat to?
68.
What was it reading in the room?
I set 3 thermostats. I don't know which one was this.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure those thermostats are back on. And it looks like I'm gonna have to run downstairs because my nose started bleeding out of the middle of nowhere. And I have no idea why, but I don't want to get blood on any of this guy's stuff, so I'll be back. Okay, so I got that taken care of, but let's take a look. Again, we have a cracked drain line. I guess it's just because it's old and becoming brittle, I'm not sure, but we have a crack here as well, going in the inside of the pan. We are draining though, out of this line. And I put treatment tablets in here, broke them up and put them in here. And I also put them in this pan, just to prevent this from clogging again, even though regardless it's gonna run out of the pan slowly. And then I'll take a look at the other unit over there. And what a surprise, this pan is actually dry. But there's a crack there and a crack there. So I'm gonna guess there's also gonna be a crack in this primary drain pan as well. I'm gonna blow this out too, since we know the other two are clogging. This one's probably gonna clog soon anyway. And I'll open it up and see what we're dealing with. And again, we have a crack in the drain pan. And there's another one all the way back there, which is hard to focus on because I have the flashlight out and it's far back. But that is 3 cracks in every single drain pan up here. So gonna be pricey to fix every single one of them, but blew out the drain line and we'll keep it moving because he wants to make sure these are all cooling and that he's up and running. See, we're starting to freeze because I have the cover off. And for anyone who's wondering, these are all York units. This one here is a 3-ton, all R22, all 208, 240 volts. But that's gonna be it for up here. We're gonna start doing some temperature readings, check out our condensing units, just make sure everything's working. Okay, so we took our temperature readings, pretty close to 20 degrees deltas on 2 of them. One of them it's like 10 degrees. So we're going to check the level of refrigerant on the system. It said, oh, they say 410A on them, but inside they say R22. Huh. Look on the the side, it does say 410A refrigerant, but the inside units say R22, so I guess maybe the TXV was changed out at some point. It's going to be the field piece gauges. The outdoor units are 410. So the new gauges.
How does that make sense?
I don't know. They probably changed out the TXV when they put them. Yeah, I don't know. That's odd. That's the first time I've ever seen that, where the indoor units are 22 and the outdoor is 410. But check the pressures on it and see what's going on. Coil's not in the greatest condition. But I don't think this customer is going to want to do anything. He just kind of wants to get them running. But we'll see. Okay, so I got the field piece S-mans and I'm gonna hook them up and see what the pressures read out at. Side. What do you got on it so far? What's the temperature reading? Subcooling? Yeah, no. Just the temperature, the LSAT temperature. LSAT's 117. Pressures. And we're at 25 degrees on our average. So we may be freezing even with the cover on. I got on video that it was freezing when I had the cover on. Let's see what our subcooling is at. Oh, we're gonna have like no subcooling, so yeah, it's definitely gonna need refrigerant. Let's call the customer and see what he wants to do. Okay, so I spoke with the homeowner, got the 410, Peter's grabbing the scale. Doesn't want to do any leak detection, does not want to try the sealant, because he's thinking he'll probably end up replacing the systems before he needs them to ever be charged again. And we just do what the customer wants, so I'm gonna put in 410A until I get good subcooling, or at least till that temperature goes above 32 so we don't freeze. And see what happens. Okay, so I've been slowly adding. We're at 2.4 pounds now, and our suction line temperature is now finally dropping. Our subcooling is going up to around, I'd like to see it at around 10, but no longer freezing. You can see a little bit of condensation. That may just be from the act of charging it, but our superheat is now dropping. It is almost 100 degrees out, so that high side pressure is not absurd. I mean, I'm sure it could be better, but it is what it is. This guy just wants his systems running, and he doesn't want any crazy bills. But we hit 3 pounds of refrigerant, a few CO2 cartridges, drain treatment tablets, and the time we were here, it's going to be pretty pricey, as opposed to just doing yearly preventative maintenances to prevent any of this from happening. But we'll let those stabilize, maybe add a little bit more, and see how good we can get these pressures. The only thing now is, now that it's going to have a proper charge, it's going to be condensing more. So that one dry pan is probably not going to be dry anymore as it condenses more. But I'll show you the pressures where we're at right now. Peter's taking a temperature reading inside. We got 68 and slowly dropping on our suction line. 11 degrees on our subcooling, 23 degrees on our superheat, 45 degree evaporator coil. Our return temperature inside is around 71 degrees. And hopefully our supply goes down into the 50s, because before it was at about 64. So let's take a look at what Peter's getting. Okay, so we are still dropping, but already down by quite a few degrees. It's steadily dropping, so we'll probably be in the mid-50s by the time that equals out. And initially this was the reason why we were here. You can see the walls bubbling a little bit because it was dripping down, and it was dripping into this bucket that he had from the corner of the return. But I replaced this filter and this filter. And for the master, he doesn't have the filters needed to replace. Okay, so here we are with our pressures at 2 3/4 quarter pounds, and I'll check back inside, see what we're getting on the temperature of the supply here. And we're only at 59, which is not amazing, but it is 12 degrees. So we'll probably leave it at that because I don't want that head pressure to be too high. And looks like that's going to be it. And with my liquid line hose off, I am going to open up my high side, my refrigerant side, and my low side so that it sucks out the higher pressure and you're losing less refrigerant that way. You'll see this will go down around that 45 degrees and no more liquid in the sight glass. We are condensing nicely. So that's going to be it for this call. So that's going to be it for this video. I just finished another service call, and that was just a capacitor, and the homeowner was a helicopter, so I didn't record any of it. But as far as the 3 York units, the outdoor condensers all needed cleanings badly. The side facing the house on all 3 condensers was completely plugged by dryer lint because the dryer exhausts right there. But he doesn't want to do it. I told him that that's 25% of the efficiency of the unit is just not being used because it's completely blocked off, and it's eventually going to take a toll on the system. But he didn't want to do anything, just wanted them cooling. I have a feeling that he's going to end up replacing them sometime soon because everything is just in awful condition. The units are rusting out, the fans are rusting out, condensers are loud, high amp draw, high pressure. But it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, comment any advice or feedback or criticisms, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.